Hello, international students. I'm Connor Blay from internationalstudent.com. Thank you so much for joining us today to discover your opportunities at Valencia College. With COVID-19 affecting international education as we know it, there's a lot of uncertainty in the months to come. Thankfully, institutions like Valencia College have stepped up in various ways to make accommodations for current and future students. Valencia is a fully accredited four-year college, and it is located in Orlando, Florida. International students are welcome to Valencia as there are more than 100 countries represented on its campuses. We've provided a link to Valencia's internationalstudent.com profile in the comments section, so make sure you check that out if you want to learn more after the live stream ends. If you have any questions throughout the live stream, just send a comment and we'll get to as many as we can after the interview portion. Now, without further ado, I'm pleased to introduce our special guest, Valencia International Student Recruitment Specialist, Daniela Garcia Laverde. All right. Hi, Daniela.
Hi, good afternoon, Connor. It's a pleasure to join you today.
It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely.
I'm glad that you could join us. I just have a few questions just to kind of get the conversation going before we get into the question portion for our viewers. If that's okay with you, I'll go ahead and ask the first question.
Okay.
All right. So as I touched on before, COVID-19 is affecting international education as we know it. But Valencia College has stepped up in various ways. So what are some of the changes and accommodations that Valencia has made during this time?
Great question. So, good afternoon, everyone, as well, everyone that's joining us from all over the world. So, Valencia College has made several accommodations in order to support your education and also reassure you that we're here to support you throughout the entire process. Some of the ways that we have implemented this is by allowing no fee for the online application. So, this fee used to be $35, but now it is completely free until July 15th, which is also our application deadline. Another way that we have implemented some changes is also through the English proficiency category in our application process. So, because it was a request from students, we have now included the Duolingo English Test as one of the English proficiency exams that we can accept as English proficiency. And the minimum score for that is 75. Along with that, we have transitioned our summer semester and our fall semester to completely online for international students as well, just because we want to prioritize your health and we also want to continue supporting you in your future. Along with that, in addition, we have made ourselves very accessible to meet all of your immediate needs, whether it is through our live chat, through our Skype account, our international email, and then also through Instagram. That has been a new platform that we have been able to help students as well.
All right, those are all great things and good to hear. So the next question is, I hear there are some scholarships available. Can you tell us a little bit more about those scholarships that you're offering at this time?
Absolutely. So we have the Global Achievers Award, which is our most popular, our main scholarship that we offer. This is open to all students, all incoming students for their very first semester. And this is a merit-based scholarship, so we do look for that 3.0 GPA. And once you have your Valencia ID, you'll be able to apply for the scholarship. All you would really have to do is complete 2 essays, each of 500 words. The first one will ask you why you chose Valencia College to start your college career. And then the second one is going to ask you, what accomplishments do you wish to fulfill here in your time as an international student? In addition to that, due to COVID-19 and our current circumstances, we have extended that scholarship opportunity to 2 other new opportunities, one being for transfer students. So this one looks at a GPA of 2.5 GPA. It is also merit-based, the same requirements to apply. And then the third one is for students coming from the intensive English programs. So that one is available to them, and the requirement is you need to complete level 6B with a letter grade, of B or higher. So that has been our extension to the Global Achievers Award.
Awesome. And I guess a lot of people would be wondering, how do you apply for those scholarships?
That's right. So as mentioned, all you would have to do is once you complete your online application within the 24 hours, you're going to be receiving your Valencia ID number. With that ID number, you can start your application to the scholarships, and all you would have to complete is those 2 essays of 500 words each.
All right, that's awesome. So if you already had a degree and you wanted to go to Valencia College, how would you transfer those credits?
Okay, that's a good question. A lot of our students that are transferring, especially from the intensive English programs, oftentimes they have a degree already from their home country. So when it comes to this situation, we highly encourage students to receive an evaluation or seek services from agencies under the NACES. This is the National Association of Credentials Evaluation Services, and this association is basically an umbrella for multiple agencies that offer the evaluation service. So the evaluation is, in essence, a comparison of grading systems between 2 countries. And so a course-by-course evaluation is what we're really seeking. A lot of our students oftentimes seek services from the World Education Services, or Joseph Silny is 2 of the most popular ones, but we encourage students to obtain that evaluation so then our credentials evaluator can determine if there are any courses that we can transfer over to their program of choice. So a course-by-course evaluation is what they would need.
All right. Noted. Awesome. So with Valencia offering a lot of associate's degrees, but some people are also wondering how you would transfer to a university. Are there any partnerships with universities that Valencia colleges have, such as a 2+2 program or anything like that?
Absolutely, Connor. So we have the very popular Direct Connect program with the University of Central Florida. So this partnership basically states that once you graduate from Valencia College, you're guaranteed admission into the university. Okay, so this facilitates the entire application process, and the transition is meant to be a smooth transition. While you still need to complete the application to the university, you do not need to complete the essay portion. And in addition to that, 3 of our campuses, our Osceola, Downtown, and West Campus, do have regional UCF offices. So we have success coaches from the university there willing to meet with you and discuss your plans and the bachelor's program that you want to get into. And the purpose of that is to facilitate the whole process. And in addition to that, you can take UCF classes in our Valencia campuses. So we have facilitated that opportunity for students to still be going to our campuses, but transition to the University of Central Florida. Also, we have the 2+2 program, which allows Valencia graduates to apply to any Florida State University and start their bachelor's program as a junior or a 3rd-year college student. So they do have that opportunity as well.
Right. Sounds great. So can you just give us a breakdown? I know these things cost money, so can you give us a breakdown of the annual expenses at Valencia?
Absolutely. So the 3 things that sum up the total amount that we're looking for are tuition and fees, the health insurance, and then living expenses. Okay, so part of the application process, one of the categories is submitting the declaration of finances. The way that students can submit this is through bank letters or bank statements. Keep in mind, before I get into the numbers, students, you have the opportunity of having a maximum of 3 sponsors. So this can be a family member, a friend, or someone in your life that truly wants to support you financially through your time as an international student. So the first category is tuition and fees. So international students are charged out-of-state tuition, okay? And the cost for 1 credit hour is $390 with 96 cents. When we multiply that by 3, giving us a 3-credit course, and then multiplying that in 2 semesters. So I'll get into the credit system a little forward and explain that a little better. But for 2 semesters or 1 year, the tuition cost will be $9,383. Okay? And then on top of that, we consider also a mandatory health insurance. We want to make sure that you have access to health professionals in the case that, you get sick or you don't feel well. We want to make sure we assure that. So there are 2 health insurance programs, one of 6 months and one for 1 year. We recommend the 1-year program since it won't cause interference when it comes time to register for classes. And that one has a cost of $1,987. In addition to that, we consider living expenses, and this can be your living arrangements, transportation, books, nutrition, things like this. We will never ask you in specific, but we just want to make sure you're well supported. And this estimated amount is $12,786, which gives us a total of $24,156 that we're looking for when it comes time to submitting that declaration of finances. Again, keep in mind you have the opportunity of having a maximum of 3 sponsors. Also, it is notable to mention if you have any dependents, there is an additional cost to each dependent that you may have. Okay, and so that is basically the breakdown for the annual expenses. Do keep in mind that we have that scholarship, the Global Achievers Award, and many other ways to support you financially.
Right. All right, that's great information. Thanks, Daniela. The next question I have is, what is the difference between associates in arts and associates in science? And how does the credit system work in the US? You kind of touched on it already, but
Yes.
let's go into more detail.
Yes, so the difference between the associates in arts and associates in science is the purpose for which they were created. So the associates in arts was created for you to get a head start in your bachelor's degree at a more cost-efficient and high-quality education way. So to explain what that means. So in Valencia College, compared to other state universities in the state of Florida, the cost is it's lower, it's more cost efficient. And so in addition to that, we have created our classes to be no more than 24 students. So if you go to a well-known university in your first year especially, you'll find classes that have up to 300 students. And so at Valencia, you won't have that problem. We have specifically organized our classrooms to be no more than 24 students so that you have access to your professor, you have that discussion-based environment. And so that's really the purpose. And with an associate's in arts, in addition, you have the opportunity of completing prerequisite courses for a bachelor's that you would like to transfer over. Now, an associate's in science is different because the nature or purpose of it is to teach you the skills so that you can start working in that field after you complete those 2 years. In addition to that, there is a difference in the amount of credits. So an associate's in arts is always going to be 60 credits. An associate's in science is going to be 60 plus credits. It will always be a little bit more because oftentimes there are specializations that are attached to your major or program of choice in an associate's of science. However, I do want to clarify, if by any chance you are interested in an associate's in science and you decide to pursue that, and then you change your mind and you want to pursue a bachelor's afterwards, you also have that opportunity. There's no limitations in what you do after you obtain the associates.
Right. Okay. That's good. That's a perfect answer. So the last question, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Also, to add into the credit system, I forgot to add to that. So, in the United States, each college course is 3 credits. Okay, and so as an international student having an F1 visa, you need to take 4 classes or maintain 12 credits per semester. Okay, so when we consider 3 classes, 3 credits per class. And if in each semester we take 4 classes, in 1 year, considering those annual expenses, in 1 year I would have taken 8 classes already, which is already 24 credits. And remember, I mentioned 60 credits is the total for an associate's in arts. So that gives you a little bit of perspective. By the time you complete that first year, you're already midway to completing your associates. Go
Right.
on.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you cut me off because I I forgot there was a second part to that question. So I'm glad you cut me off. We just have one more question, and then we'll get to your question, the viewers' questions. So the last question is: can you give us just a quick run through of the steps to apply to Valencia?
Yes, absolutely. So the first step you want to take is completing that online application. So remember, as I mentioned, it is completely free right now for you guys. Before it was $35, but now it's free until July 15th, which is also our application deadline. After you complete that online application, within the 24 hours, you're going to be receiving a welcome email with your Valencia ID. Once you have that ID, you can gain access to something that we call My ISS Portal, which stands for My International Student Services Portal. Once you have access to that, then you can go ahead and submit all of your necessary documents through that portal. That portal is going to be your right hand throughout the application process. You will also need to be familiarized with it after you've been admitted. So the important documents that you need to submit, first of all, is high school transcripts. So we're looking for original copy in the native language, and then a translation into English, of course. And then if you have completed any university classes or an entire degree, perhaps, as I mentioned before, look into the agencies under NACES to obtain a course-by-course evaluation. Okay. After that, you need to prove English proficiency. All right. So that can either be through the TOEFL. The minimum score for that is 45. The IELTS minimum score is 5.5. And now more recently, the Duolingo English Test. And the minimum score for that is 75. All right. Also, if you are in IEP programs, as I see here in the comments, we do also receive the transcript. And again, as I mentioned, you'd have to be in level 6B or 8B in order to transfer over to a degree seeking program. After that, you need to prove the declaration of finances. Again, so that could be through bank letters or bank statements. And the minimum amount that we're looking for is $24,156. After that, it's just a copy of your passport. Make sure that it is at least valid for 6 months. If not, we encourage you to update your passport so that you won't have any complications moving forward. And that's basically it. Then you click submit and wait to receive your acceptance letter and your I-20 document.
All right. Awesome. So I guess you guys would provide help if anybody needed help with any of those
Absolutely.
deliverables, right?
Absolutely. So right now we have three recruiters, and we are available Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. We have the live chat going on in our international students website. We have our Instagram Study in Orlando FL, and we have our Skype account as well that we can schedule calls. Multiple ways that we are making ourselves accessible for you guys. So definitely reach out. That's what we're here for. We're here to support you and walk you throughout the entire application process.
Awesome. All right. So that's all the questions that I have for you. We're going to go ahead and take some questions from our viewers. We have some coming in. Continue to send them our way, and we'll get to as many as possible. So the first question I have is from Ryan Chauvin. Do I have to apply for the scholarship after admission as I am an international student? It will be great to know about scholarship or a waiver. And what is the percentage of admission of international students?
Okay, hi, good afternoon, Ryan. Thank you for your question. So, once you obtain that Valencia ID, right away you can start that scholarship application. Okay, although we will wait for you to submit all of your necessary documents before we actually give you a response or let you know you have been granted the scholarship. Although we don't have a specific percentage of the admitted students at the moment, we encourage absolutely everyone to apply. Keep in mind, once you start that online application, you don't necessarily need to submit it right away. You actually set up a login at the very first step so that you can have the option of finishing the application at a later time. In addition to that, you want to keep in mind that you have your application valid for 2 years. So if you apply and you end up deciding joining us at a later time, you also have that opportunity, that flexibility by having your application in a active status.
All right. Thank you
Mhm.
for that. So he has one more question. He's doing a BBA in Bangladesh. He's in his final year now. So he's asking, does he need to give English proficiency tests still?
So I'm not familiar with BPA, but we definitely do require the English proficiency reports or the results to be official and to be valid for 2 years. So it could only be valid if it was 2 years prior. So that's the validity time period. So yes, TOEFL, IELTS, or Duolingo English exam.
All right. Awesome.
Mhm.
So next question we have is from Isabella to Borda. I studied in the IEP program and finished level 9A, but I'm currently in my home country. My question is, am I required to do the Duolingo test? Also, I am applying for fall semester, but the US Embassy is closed. What can I do?
Okay. Hi there. Good afternoon. Can you remind me her name?
It's Isabella.
Isabella. Okay. Good afternoon, Isabella. Thank you for your question. So, yes, we do accept students coming from the intensive English program. That is great that you completed the 9A level. That being completed, you can go ahead and transfer to a degree seeking program. When it comes to the US consulates, yes, we do understand and we take that definitely into consideration. That has been highly discussed within our team, whether we're going to, how we're going to allow students to take their courses. But I do want to reassure you that our admissions team is willing to work with you. We do consider the US consulates. So if it is not open, we will allow you to start your degree program. So you can still take your classes. Again, as I mentioned, we are transitioning completely online. So you would have that opportunity to start online for now. And then once everything starts to open and go back to normal, then you would have the opportunity to request that F1 visa and join us here in the States. So again, to add to the IEP program, the fact that you have completed that is great. We do still accept that. Your question was, do you still need to take the Duolingo English test?
Mhm.
So there is another exam that we administer to students. It's called the LOPE. Originally, it was administered on campus, but it is administered case by case. So perhaps that is something that you want to talk with us through phone calls so I can understand your story a little bit better and I can further give you guidance. So definitely contact us as soon as possible. Thank you, Isabella.
Okay. She just had one more part to that question. It's,
Go ahead.
I'm applying for the fall semester, but the US Embassy is closed. What can she do?
Okay, definitely still apply. We welcome those applications. Our admissions team is willing to work with you. Again, if it is closed, obviously you cannot request the F1 visa at the moment, but do still complete the application process and hopefully within before the start of the fall semester, perhaps they will open the US consulates. If not, as mentioned, you can still start the start of your degree seeking program.
All right.
Mhm.
Awesome. Thanks, Isabella, for your question. I'm going to move on to Keslin Augustine. As an international student, how could we find a scholarship?
Thank you, Keslin. Good afternoon. As an international student, I definitely want to encourage you all to get familiarized with our international student website. We have multiple opportunities there for scholarships. Aside from the Global Achievers Award and the two extensions that we have now included, We also have the International Linkage Institute. So that is more of a partnership between Florida and several regions and countries. So this states that if the student commits to returning to their home country after they've completed their program, and they commit to staying at least 2 years in their home country, contributing based on whatever they studied, then they have the opportunity of obtaining in-state tuition. So you wouldn't have to pay out-of-state tuition. The cost would be much lower. And there is an application attached to this opportunity, and as well as a GPA. It is merit-based, so you need to have a 3.0 GPA. The application process for each one, according to country and region, may differ. So we encourage you to look at our scholarship tab in our website and get familiarized with those opportunities. So that's just one other opportunity that is out there for international students, and along with our Global Achievers Award.
All right. Thanks, Daniela, and thanks, Keslin, for your question. So one more question. It's from Alex or Alexi Kapelman, and they ask, will the online courses be available in every country? They are in Belgium.
In Belgium. Okay. Hi, Alexi. Good afternoon. Thank you for your question. So right now we have there are certain countries that we have received a little bit of technical problems in terms of our My International Student portal. I welcome you to schedule an appointment with me, and we can discuss that more in specific. I would have to talk to my team to see what countries are those countries. But for my understanding, I believe we have not experienced any difficulties with Belgium, so you should be able to start your online courses right away.
Okay, awesome. So I think that's all the questions we have. Let me make sure we're not missing any before we move on, but yeah, I think that's it. Awesome. Wait, okay. Actually, I see one more question. It's from Lydia Kiida. Sorry if I messed that up, but since we have we can have up to 3 sponsors, can we send 3 bank letters?
Absolutely, you can. What we're looking for in these bank letters or bank statements, the most important things is to clearly state or have the bank logo, bank name available, have the sponsor's name available, and as well as the balance or the total in the account. So those are the 3 things that our admission specialists make sure that are present to be approved. So yes, you can.
All right, awesome. All right, that's all the questions that we have today. So thank you for answering those, Daniela. Did you have anything you wanted to say before we wrap up?
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for having me, Connor. Thank you everyone that joined the live session. Other ways that you can just keep in contact with us is through our international student email. That is internationalstudents@valenciacollege.edu. Again, we are there Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Our live chat in our international student website. Our Skype account is Valencia International. Follow us on Instagram at StudyInOrlandoFL, and just continue to be in contact with us. We are here for you and here to support your future. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Daniela. All right, so that concludes today's live stream, and we hope you got all the info that you needed. But if you still have questions, please visit Valencia's profile on internationalstudent.com. We put it in the comments of the live stream for you, so you can just click on that link and visit there. You can read more about them and request more information to get in direct contact with them. Or as Daniela said, you can reach out to her directly. So thank you guys for watching. Stay safe and healthy out there. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for your time.